Salutations. It's a beautiful day here. I got out of bed and been noticing that dawn is becoming later and later every day. So days are becoming shorter in a sense. It is a quite pleasant morning. I'm being attacked by all sorts of bugs right now. Feed all you want. They just like my blood. Feed on my dead skin. Drink my blood so you can live. Anyway, everything needs nourishment, even insects. I don't mind getting bitten here and there. I don't have allergic reactions. I was born in a farm, so I'm used to these things. So, little by little, I've been changing my mind about talismans. Yeah, talismans, they work, especially if it's you that that creates the talisman. You will be molding something already in existence, right? And you will, through the process of molding, you will carve into this object your will. Yes, I don't know if you noticed, but when we are uh, in the zone, right, in the creative process, we experience out of body situation. We literally become one with the object. Yeah, similar thing can happen when you are in the presence of a loved one. You in the look of two lovers, yeah, when they are staring at each other, there's this unity. Yeah, they are one within, you see. This unity also happens when the artisan is building or creating or fixing something. Yeah, it is this process actually that helped philosophers, scientists, metaphysicians understand dissolvification, understand theurgy, or what the Christians call communion with God. Praying is also something to unite with God. A lot of people completely mistaken prayer. They think prayer is asking for shit. It's not. If you pray to ask for things, then um, I don't know. It's a bit, I don't know, narcissistic. I would say praying. It's always been with unifying with God, unifying with the absolute. This unification generates faith. Uh, a lot of people also don't understand faith. Faith is something that can't be counted or measured. Again, the materialists, the imbeciles, there are also pagans and, Abrahamics that misunderstand faith. It's something that, like love, it's something that can't be counted or measured. And when you have faith, you can move mountains. In fact, the world goes into shite when faith, is not present. Yeah. Faith is this hidden hand that makes us do the impossible. Anyway, so when you are in the process of creating a talisman, you become one with the object and you carve into this a talisman. It can be a necklace, a jewelry, in general, something like a jewelry or even clothing, or an accessory like glasses or whatever. Um, when you are crafting, you are literally putting your will into this object. And what is will? Yes, what is the will? This fiat will, the currency of the spiritual. is a moving power in all processions. It is the will to life, for example. So great indeed, it's this will to life that it is an essential name of God. It is by this will that his intrinsic form, for instance, signs and seals the intrinsic nature. Nature, for her part, desiring form. Yeah? You see what I mean? The form, is going to be, it's going to resemble, or it's going to have a piece of your will. Yeah. So, how does this will manifest? You can have sex and have babies. That's a manifestation of the will. But if you are artistically inclined, yeah, you can also, do paintings, sculpture. You can be a tailor and build magnificent clothes. You are putting your will into it. You are planting a tree. You are putting your will into it. You see, there are many ways of serving God, quote unquote. Yeah, it could be having children. It could be philosophy, metaphysics. A truth seeker. It could be planting trees, taking care of a garden. That's all. You know, putting your will forward. A lot of people don't understand this, but it's fine, I suppose. So, why would you want to put your will into a talisman to, of course, protect yourself against bad spirits or ghosts or demons? It's all the same thing anyway. Talismans are good for protection, especially if they are pretty, especially if they are faithful to natural order, if they have, what's the expression? Um, the right ratios and the right magnitude, you know. If they have the right proportions, they are pleasing to the eye. When it is pleasing to the eye, you are what? Tapping into one of the principles, the principle of beauty. Yeah. Again, beauty, like love, etc., are faith, they can't be counted or measured. They are from where? The spiritual, Beauty that you see in the world is beauty by participation in the first principle of beauty with a capital B, you know. So if it's beautiful, it's gonna be like holy water for the demons or garlic for the vampires. Yeah. So who are these demons? For the most part, they are excorporated. They don't have a body because they are incapable of manifesting a body. They are incapable of creating something. Demons, I think, are oblivious of what they are doing, but some are not, and those are the ones you have to be very careful. Demons ought to be, seen, but not studied, not communicate. Do not interact with ghosts, with demons. Why would you? It makes no sense to try to study demons or try to talk to demons. Demons are excorporated for the most part. From time to time, they are able to possess the living. Yeah, the body. They are able. I don't know exactly the mechanisms, but I suppose it has to do with the strength of the will of the individual, in question. If they have a weak mind, they will be highly suggestible to demonic possession. But it also could be accidental because people sometimes, go through trauma, physical trauma, and then when they wake up after, I don't know, a coma or something, someone else is behind the wheel. And sometimes they actually turn. We call this multiple personality. Sometimes the original becomes the driver, and sometimes it's the demon. It actually, I think it's been noticed that not one but multiple can occupy the same vehicle, the body, not just one. Yes. There was this psychoanalyst that studied demonology, and he said um, they are specific for each individual. They don't occupy multiple bodies simultaneously. No, they just occupy one, because each one of these bodies has a specific frequency, a specific code, you know, like a DNA code or something, and they can, hack that code, but only once. You see, only one body at a time. They can't go from body to body. They hack the body, one body at a time. You see, so in this present day, they can only occupy one body at a time. So you see, and it could be multiple ones of them. What do they want? Excess. They don't make any sense, and they love excess. So, do they know things? I don't think so. They don't know shit. Demons, they don't know shit. Yeah. Do not confuse demon with daemon. That's Greek for genie. The genius. That's a whole different subject. But the Abrahamics, they kind of mix up everything. It's a question of wisdom and intelligence, obviously. If you are unable to grasp this, it's better to stay out. You know, you're gonna do a lot more harm than good. So talismans block evil spirits or demons. It's like garlic to the vampires, because your will is carved into it. Yeah, it's like a magical barrier. They're like immediately repelled by it. So, if, for instance, if you have a T-shirt, yeah, with drawings or pictures or something on it, it becomes even more effective against demons. Yeah, a hoodie. Sometimes, people, for instance, who sell merch from their channels and stuff. Everybody that has a channel has merch to sell. They capitalism, and these hoodies, they have pictures or phrases and stuff that's very effective against demons. It is. The demons can't stand it. So talismans are quite powerful, and if you don't like jewelry, you can go for clothing, the way you dress. Color and forms, will discourage demons. So another way of discouraging demons is pets, for you will also be, imposing and imbuing this pet with your will, so much that the forms of the pets change, their behavior changes. One of the animals that actually resists better is the feline, the cat. The cat can perfectly, you know, be in harmony with humans, but they never lose their instincts. You know, it's amazing. Dogs, on the other hand, when they are with humans, they lose most of their instincts. And if you abandon them, they don't know how to survive. It's quite horrible, because for them, you are like God. So, just dogs, for instance. There's this theory that dogs used to be wolves or coyotes or foxes, and yeah, the ones we have domesticated, they're surely different. And how do they change generation after generation? By being in close proximity with us, by being affected by our will, these animals start changing slightly. And I have noticed this with foxes. When these foxes they select, you have to select the ones who are actually friendly to humans. The ones who are feral, you just let them go. Some of them will defend their instincts, but there's going to be some of them that are going to be quite friendly, so you only reproduce the ones who are friendly. And they've noticed foxes, their ears start getting smaller, their heads start getting cuter. you know our will affects generation after generation animals. So it is possible that dogs millions of years ago was similar to coyotes and wolves, and by proximity and by selective breeding, they have become cuter just by being the presence of our will. Yeah, this is just an example. It is strong, it affects, and you can transmit it into almost anything. So, yeah, pets, talismans. Another thing that repulses demons is music, poetry, art in general. They hate sculptures, they hate paintings, they hate music. Now, one of the most effective types of music that repels demons is actually heavy metal. Something about it, maybe it's the vibration caused by the sound, disrupts demons. Yeah. So, art. Oh man, just go into the history of destroying statues, something that they do to this day. Demons, whenever they see a statue that represents hope, beauty, that represents the gods, they immediately go and try to break it, break the nose. That's a pretty common one because destroying the nose was a sign of disrespect. You know, in some cultures from the Middle East, actually, they used to remove the nose of the unwanted. A person would lose any social standing if they didn't have a nose. It's worse than a thief. Removing the nose is one of the punishment for the worst crimes. Removing the nose. So they used to remove the nose of statues and stuff because they thought the divine, the gods, was inhabiting the statue. This is a logical fallacy of demons. Obviously, they're not that smart. You see, they think these objects have the divine or the gods inhabiting. No, the same way they think the soul is living in the body. No, it's not. The soul is like a puppeteer moving the body left and right, but the body is not the soul. So when the body expires, yeah, there's the separation between the spirit and the body. Yeah, but they think that's why they attack the body. For instance, with needlecraft, demons are attacking the body with needlecraft. They are constantly attacking the body. For instance, in pop culture, they are always putting these ideas forward that you need surgery or makeup. That's demons attacking the body. Yeah, because the body is generated by or through the will. Yeah, through our will. That's how it comes to be. The demons don't like our will, so they want to distort it, disfigure it. In some countries, I think Korea, South Korea, they've become completely mental into surgery. They start doing static surgery like from 15 years old. completely crazy. Um, that's a body, you know, dysphoria, you could call it. This it's really, really a disease, in my opinion. It's mutilation. Yeah, similar to those religions that do genital mutilation. Holy moly, that's demonic. You see, attacking the body. That's really demonic. No one in the right mind would, agree to such a thing. And it has nothing to do with hygiene or whatever. No, it's purely a demonic attack on the physical. For a person that loses sensibility in those areas will have an itch that will never be able to scratch for the rest of their lives, you see. They will try, to get off with one, two, three orgies, sadomasochism. It will bring about all sorts of devious behavior, trying to scratch that itch. That's where all this degeneracy comes from, is from the mutilation. They have an itch. It's not just that. Then they become so um, you know resentful towards others who actually can scratch that itch, that they will bring about horrible things. They will make manifest hell on earth to punish everybody for the hell they are in. So, to repel demons, art, music, right? Talismans, pets. If you decorate your windows, if you decorate your doors, demons won't be able to come in. With flower arrangements, I don't know, put the carpet saying something nice like welcome or I love you or something like that. Demons will not dare enter, you see. So I think that's all I wanted to say. Have a nice day.